Hello all. I have a very new direction that my channel will take from now. So in order to do so, I think it's very important for me to do a face reveal. So here it is. This is me. Hello, hello. Yeah, so there's probably a lot of questions right now because I haven't posted in a very long time, which I apologize, but I have a lot of things that have changed, and including why am I in a van recording this. So I am now vanlifing. Have been doing for about 3 months now. Loving it. There's a lot of reasons why, and I think naturally it's best to kick it off with a van tour. So you get a face reveal and a van tour from day one. So, all right, let's get to it. Not really a glamorous van tour at all. I think the whole point of me doing this was to be very minimalistic to begin with. So, yeah, ultimately I live in the van, so it's gonna be very messy. So I apologize for that, but yeah. I have a couple different footages I shot like along the road from Houston all the way to where I'm at now, which is Seattle. But I didn't have this good camera that I recorded with, so some of the footage is really bad, just shaky wise. So I don't know what order I'll put them up, or if I'll even put those other ones up. So if they're a little out of order, I apologize, but I wanted to record it now anyway. So yeah, this is my car. It's a Toyota Sienna 2015. I got a gray color because I love how the sun reflects its colors depending on how beautiful the sunset is that night, essentially. But yeah, I'll explain everything as we're going through the tour. But let's go ahead and get to the tour now before it rains again. All right, so first, the main compartment, of course. So, it's a little messy, so I apologize. But again, I live in it, so you know. Alright, so first off, let's see. Let's start with this. So I don't have a script, so I apologize if it's a little disorganized, but I don't like writing scripts. I like just very creative, flow of thought type of creation. So my lighting source, first and foremost, is this USB powered fairy lights, like so. It's very pretty. I love how the lights look, and it's much more cozier with it. I put these little green stickers up that actually are that hold up the lights so that they don't come down and sag in a weird way. But yeah, I just use a battery powered pack to run it. So how about I'll jump in and I'll show you. Alright, so that way we have a little more privacy. I'm in a library parking lot at this time, so yeah, I'll just go ahead and give you guys a little tour. It's a little tight, so I apologize. But let's see. Main compartment is pretty much the bed. So every living space needs a bed and needs a place to work, right? So I think there's a little too much glare on these glasses. Let me take these off. There we go. Okay, so yeah, the bed. So the bed is just a very standard bed. It's a cot. It's a Coleman cot that I bought from Amazon. It's around $60, $70 or so. So I think the big thing about my van build is that it's a no build, because ultimately I don't want to get tied down to the car. The whole point of van life is for me, is freedom, you know? So I want the ability to be able to not be dependent on the car. If for whatever reason the car serves its purpose and its time, and for some reason if I have to change the car, I don't want to have put $100,000 into renovating, okay? Because that's not financially feasible for most people anyway. So I wanted stuff I can take out and just move to a new car. So yeah, and it's easier to explain when you're stopped on the road or something like that for some reason, that you're just temporarily camping in it. Because if you, especially right now, you know, people, you know how people always try to crack down on things that don't make people money? It's very interesting. So because this is taking rent income away from a lot of people, I did notice that a lot of cities are starting to crack down on it, and if you have a full build out, they'll be a little less lenient on you. So yeah, anyways, Coleman cot, $60. It pretty much has a the mattress it came with, the small little one, and then I put a sleeping bag on top of it to serve kind of as a mattress, but also because I think it's necessary to have some kind of a very cold weather, sleeping bag, so that in case you hit those really cold times, you have something to go into and be warm, So it's a Cabela / Bass Pro. They're basically the same company, but Bass Pro / Cabela's Mountain Trapper is what they call it. It's a 0-degree bag, so it'll keep you toasty even if it's 0 degrees. I've only had to use it twice, but while I was going to Colorado, it was cold, it was snowing, but it kept me toasty, so it was good. And then on top of that, because I don't want to wash the sleeping bag all the time, I have these sheets. They're just a good high thread count, fast cooling sheets. Good for making sure moisture is kind of dried off fast, in case like you go through more humid areas like where I'm at right now. Moisture tends to cling, and you just want something that's very fast drying. And I also wanted something that I can just take off and wash regularly. So sheet, and then on the top I just have 2 just regular fleece blankets. Really, that's all there are. One was a little cold, so I just have 2 to make it a little warmer. Oh, shameless plug. Look, an Aquarius blanket. Which I did make some merch, so you guys can always buy those if you want it. But yeah, so bed is basically just that. For the pillow, just a standard pillow. Inside the pillowcase though, I made sure I got a waterproof pillow casing first. In case you're as you're sleeping, eventually, like how sometimes your pillow can yellow and stuff if you're not careful. So the waterproofing cover kind of protects that. I wash the sheets and the pillowcases regularly as I can, as I have a laundromat, so that helps with that. Otherwise, so sleeping area and then a working area. So what's really cool is the seat I'm sitting on. This is just a standard seat that comes with the car. But what's great is this cot was just big enough that it actually allows me to keep this one seat in. So I took the 2 seats out so that I can have more storage space in. But this seat can stay, so I don't have to like arrange a new way of sitting. It's just very much, it takes off a load, because then you have to secure it and there's a whole bunch of steps you need to do. But this seat works. Look, another merch. But yeah, and then what I do is I have this, actually I'll show you this once I'm outside, because it's a little, I'll show you. It'll be a little easier to view with the camera outside. But down here, which is where my cookware is, I don't know if you can see much. This is my little rice pack. I recently got some more rice, so I just need to separate them into smaller bags so they can actually fit under. But pretty much my main cooking is super simple. I just have a Coleman single burner down here, and then I have a propane burner, and then I have one regular just pot, basically that you get from Walmart. Literally just a medium-sized pot, so that I can boil water or cook like little like fry things, because it's basically a fry pan, Yes, it's a pot, but like the bottom is just the same. So I didn't want to have too many cookingware because it's a small space and it just gets too chaotic. I'd rather just have one that I take care of, and when it gets bad, I get another one, you know what I mean? Water bottles, I keep down here. This part has all of my, it's a little dark. Yeah, but, sorry. I don't have like an external flash I'm using. But pretty much here I have like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have cooking oil, syrup, stuff like that. All of my spices are down here. I also have all of my canned food. I have a couple canned food in case I'm in the middle of nowhere and I need food. It's gonna be good to have some emergency food just in case. Otherwise, I have some Ziplocs that I use, both smaller and gallon size. The smaller ones I use for brushing my teeth and stuff, because I don't have like a running water system because it's such a small space. I didn't want to create another gray water system and all of these things that can break. I literally buy the little gallon bottles for $1 from Walmart or wherever. And then I pour a little bit into one of these smaller Ziplocs. And then that's what I use to rinse my toothbrush and stuff like that as I brush. So these are my toiletries that I keep up here just so that they're easily accessible. Toothpaste, floss, toothbrush, all of that stuff. I have some gloves that I use in order to, because my hands, hand sanitizer, I don't always feel comfortable with using, or I always use hand sanitizer, but I don't feel comfortable putting that into my mouth as I'm doing flossing and stuff, So I use gloves to make it extra clean. Let's see, otherwise, my instruments, I have a acoustic guitar, a electric guitar, and a full-size piano, 88 key, that somehow fits right in between. So what's cool, or not what's cool, what was kind of sad is I had to let a lot of my instruments kind of go when I moved because I had an accordion that I wanted to bring, I had a mandolin I wanted to bring, I had a banjo I wanted to bring, and there's just no space. So I really narrowed down to what do I need for music production. This is kind of what I narrowed it down to. Otherwise, let's see, it's a very simple space. So otherwise I have my kind of closet, if you will, where it's essentially, my short sleeve shirts, stuff like that, more dressier shirts up here, my t-shirts that I usually wear. I love Nomad Complex. I'm not sponsored by them, although I would love to be because I love your t-shirts, but yeah, Nomad Complex, amazing stuff. And then down here, I have all of my shorts and my sweatpants and skirts and all of that stuff because I like androgynous, gender-bending fashion a lot too. Otherwise, I have this little dry mat that I like to have for rainy times. Up here is my chaos, like box of chaos. Literally, this is where I store all of my stuff I use on the regular, but it is very disorganized. But I know where everything is because I use it all the time. So it's just like tissues, masks, single-use plates. I do have non-single-use silicone plates as well, but sometimes without running water it can be very difficult. So depending on my situation and my water availability, I'll use single-use plates a lot too. But I try to be mindful because I don't want to pollute the earth too much. And then, yeah, pretty much like just first aid kits, stuff like that. I mean, pretty standard stuff. It's just a box of stuff I use a lot. I have my scissor here, a lint roller. For when I do Aquarius and stuff, it's really nice to lint roll Aquarius fur off of me, basically. And then, oh yeah, the question everybody likes to ask, which is how to use the restroom. Well, ultimately, I like to try and use the gas stations, Walmarts, Safeways. Like, there's so many. There's so many public restrooms you can find that you can get, good plumbing. So I try to use those first and foremost, but in the middle of the night or when you're away from civilization, there are times where you have to go and you don't want to get an indecency charge by going in the bush. So in those situations, I just got this little $1 jug from Walmart. And then what I do is I open it, and then I take one of these gallon Ziplocs, line it up, and that takes care of number one, if you know what I mean. And then I just zip it up and then toss it. And then, or I use, thankfully I don't really do this much because there's a lot of options. But this is a foldable toilet, like a little collapsible toilet that you can line with a trash bag and then do your business and then throw it away like you do with like a dog poop bag you do, on the side of the road. But I, again, try not to because that's a whole nother process. But I like having it in the van because it's a good security to just have it in the van in case you need it, because you never know. I just got it off Amazon at like $30 or something. But pretty much, yeah, majority of the time I try to use the ones outside as much as I can. What else? Oh, look, it's a little cute little Aquarius. And he's little sleeping. This was made by my friend Jackson, Thank you again, Jackson. He made this really cute aquarium, and I like seeing him, so I leave him here. I have all these little cute stuffed animals. They're called tiny-headed kingdoms. They're tiny little heads, big body, and they say it's because they have big hearts, which I think is so adorable. But yeah, I mean, it was so hard choosing. Like, it was like choosing your favorite children to find the stuffed animals you were gonna bring, but these were kind of what I ended up with. This is just where I put all my little magnets. I'll probably do some explanation ones for each one, maybe if I get to it. But again, because of the quality of the videos before I took this camera out and started using it, I don't know how good they are, so again, you might not see those footages, but we'll see. This is all of my, like, you know, little necklaces I love. I love metal and wooden ones. They're just very natural, and I just love natural kind of, yeah, just natural necklaces. I got almost all of these off Etsy. So they make some good stuff. Or Etsy creators make a lot of good stuff. I might even start an Etsy myself, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, just cute necklaces I like to have. Nothing fancy, but I like non-fancy things anyway. What else? What else? I mean, there's not really a lot because I wanted it to be very simple. Oh, I do have some Dr. Bronner soap. You probably heard that name all the time if you watch van tours because they're good. They're concentrated, so you just put a tiny little bit and some water, and it helps me if I do end up using the non-single-use plates and stuff to wash off. I have some hydrogen peroxide, same thing, just to clean. Let's see. These fans, they help with ventilation. I have one there, and I have one behind there that you can't see at this moment, but they're both battery powered, also off of Amazon. And they're just good to circulate because it helps the airflow, and then I usually crack open a window. I have one of those rain guards along the side of it, the window, and then pretty much that helps me crack open the windows a little bit even if it's raining without getting the rain, and so that helps the air circulate so that I don't run out of oxygen. Yeah, I mean, pretty much that's mainly this middle part, which is the main part. So yeah, not a lot. Little tiny storage compartments. There's a lot of cool things that Toyota does that I really love their use of space management. Let's see. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're ready to go outside, and I'll show you the last couple remaining bits. There's not a lot left. I mean, it's a very simple build. These cabinets that I just showed you are all from Walmart. So again, super simple, super cheap, very easy to do. Let's see. Okay. So, oh yeah, right. Let me show you how this desk works. I mean, I won't completely unfold it because it's hard to do with one hand and the camera. Oh, see what I mean? But yeah, basically it's just a standard foldable table from Walmart. So at the end, it will just kind of fold like this. So I can put like my laptop and stuff on it, so I can work on it when I need. So working space, sleeping space, all you really need. Heater, just mini things, little wipes and stuff like that. Something they call Bugzooka, where you can kind of vacuum bugs in and then let them go outside in nature. Studio monitors for when I record. I only use these for the final stages of my recording for mixing and stuff. Mirrors. Bug zapper, because it's very good to electronically zap your bugs, or else it is very hard to catch like mosquitoes and stuff when you're trying to catch them in the small spaces. It's easier to just swing a racket around and zap them. So yeah, I'll explain the curtains now, which is basically, these are just black curtains. I got some upholstery pins up here, as you can see, and some little hooks, and they hook up so that you can actually put these up, because ultimately you don't want any light coming up. That's a dead giveaway, you know. The whole point is to be stealthy. So yeah, the back of the, you know, the mattress, all of that stuff. Otherwise, it's just mainly storage back here. I don't usually come back here because these are like where I keep my winter stuff and all of that stuff like that. Osiris rings, fan veils, Tai Chi swords, all the flow art dance stuff I like to do because I love dancing, as you saw on my channel. I have some bongos for drum circles, just extra storage. I have my VR stuff in here too. A little stool you can sit on, and then I have a big camping chair as well there underneath there. Aquarius, because I wanted him in an action packer box, but I don't have space for boxes, so he's in a little bag now. So this is Aquarius, winter clothes, extra stuff, camera bag, my work bag where I have my computers and laptops and stuff like that, my hamper, which is waterproof. Got it on Amazon, and it's really cute. But yeah, I keep all of my detergents and everything in here, so it's nice and clean. And then my little cute bag of toiletries, a little fox. Yeah, but this is where I have all my like conditioner, shampoo, just toiletries that I can take into Planet Fitness, which I'll talk to you about a little more in just a second. But actually, no, I'll just talk to you now. It's $22 or $24 for all club access across the US. And it's really good because you have hot showers, hot clean showers, and also just nice restrooms, clean restrooms. And they're, yeah, for that price, they're everywhere. So pretty much it's good to have. So you can always take a shower and everything on the road. I try to take one every 2 days or so. Yeah, and then, yeah, just because you're in van life does not mean you don't have to not keep up with your hygiene. There's a lot of things now because civilization has advanced, right? Let's see, what else? Oh, and the reason those bags are good is because you can just grab and go. And I can actually access them from the back of my bed without having to open the van. Because ultimately, I chose this van, I'll explain a little more, but because of the stealth aspect. So I don't want people to know that I'm sleeping. So ultimately, you just want to be able to grab, go, and do your thing and come back. This part, there's not a whole lot. I mean, you're gonna notice as you're vanlifing, if you do ever do it in the future, there's just gonna be a lot of storage you need to do. So pretty much this is just all my extra storage. Like I have my dog brush for Aquarius, my flute, my shoe polish, all of that stuff. Kilts, skirts, scarves, dress pants, all of my clothing I don't usually use that much. That's why I have my usual stuff in there, and these are here. I have like some cowboy shirts, flannel, stuff like that for more colder weather. And then propane tanks. I buy these small ones so they don't, I feel safer with these and they make more sense for the size. I have a carbon monoxide detector here, always buy one. Because you want to make sure you know when they leave and get out of that car. Fire extinguisher, a little Korean drum, because I'm Korean, so I love our stuff. And then a little orange shaker. I thought that was really cool. A little bowl if I need to wash things. Some more extra birthday kit stuff. I have my cameras in here, and then my more cooking utensils, stuff that's more serious, like I don't really regularly use on a daily basis. I just have my regular spatula in the front so I can access it, but these usually I don't use. They're more like the big knives and stuff like that I need to like cook with and stuff for like meat and stuff, which I don't eat that much anymore. I have my DJ deck and my 25 key smaller keyboard that I use to take into places if I need to produce things. It's just easier to carry than a 80 key, 88 key keyboard. So yeah, I have my protection stuff like my hatchet, my air horn, and just stuff like that. My little head massager. I have this little bag of stuff I need to get rid of, but pretty much, yeah, I put a little rain mat down because those are important. Same with the little butt cushion, keeps me cool. These are important if you're driving long distances. Mask, glasses, sunglasses. Always get sunglasses. You might not think you need them, but after a long drive, your eyes will die. Little fox, Nubis, dream catcher, you know, just little decorations. All of my little flags I love, the pride flag, the asexual flag, the bear flag, because I love bears obviously, but I love all types. And then the Korean flag. I use a tumbler, stainless steel one for my water. I just pour out of the jugs, just because I try the silicone ones. They leak. Even if they say they don't leak, they leak. And they just taste really gross after a while. This box is the only thing I actually built. And there used to be a console in the middle here, and oh my god, it was such a weird shape that like it just didn't do anything. So I took that out, which is pretty simple. And then I have this little organizer that just helps keep things organized on top of it. But pretty much, I just went to Home Depot, did the measurements, put it in. I built it with like some hinges, so it's just basically like literally a casket of shit that you can put, a casket of stuff you can just put in. Yeah, this is where like all the stuff that used to be in my center console and stuff go in, and also all of my extra cables and stuff like that all go in here. But yeah, and then one thing about stealth, I keep saying stealth. Stealth just means, you know, you want to be very non-discreet. You want to just be very, you know, quiet and not very noticeable that you're living in a van. That's all it means. But in order to stealth, you need to be able to get from the driver's seat to the back so you can sleep easily. And so pretty much I just use these, I bought these little knee pads because they hurt otherwise to be on wood, so I just use the knee pads to climb to the back and come back to the front. I do have a solar panel. I don't really use it. It's more just for safe, like emergency reasons in case I need it. A little back massager. This is a little radish man from Meow Wolf. I'll probably make a video about it, but it's a little exhibition over in Las Vegas that's really pretty and really cool and very thought-provoking, which I love those kinds of installations. Art should always have a message, you know? My hat's in a little bag. I have my laptop or my desktop here for my VR when I need to do it. This is where some of my snacks and stuff reside. My trash can. I mean, that's pretty much all over here. I think the last part is just on the other side. I'll show you my refrigerator and my battery pack, and I think that's it. We're almost there. All right, let's go around to the other side. So, again, I use these to just cover it. It's just easier, less visible. Yoga mat, miscellaneous storage down there, shoes and all that stuff. This is my main battery pack. It's called the EcoFlow. I think it's a 1358 or something. But yeah, basically really good battery, lasts about 10 days if I'm careful. Which is why I use those little battery packs that I plug my USB into, because I charge those battery packs off of this, so I can be more mindful of my usage rather than just letting it drain and drain. But I do have AC power, as you can see, for like more serious computer work and stuff. I use trays so I don't get messy when I eat. I have my jackets and stuff I keep up here. This refrigerator I don't actually use. I just use it as like a little storage for food without any power in it. But I like to have one in case I need it. But if I use that, the battery that lasts 10 days lasts 3 days. So that's why, in order to conserve energy, I started moving away from meats and stuff that expire that much. Hiking sticks, stuff like that. I was an Eagle Scout, so I love having Boy Scout stuff too. Yeah, the only other thing that I recommend is really, these are like laundry protector bags. You can find on Amazon, like 9 for like $6 or something. They're really good because you can store stuff in here and then zip it up and squeeze them into these crevices. And you're gonna really realize how important these little crevices are as you start living in a van, because there's gonna be a lot of storage, more than you think. And these are easier to fit than like a box or something. Otherwise, just like my umbrellas and stuff, shades for the windows, my lotion, hand sanitizer, my lip balm, tire pressure reader. You always want to have these. AutoZone sells them. Knife, stuff like that. I mean, pretty simple stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much most of the van. I mean, to be honest, that's pretty much all of the van. Let me go inside And then, so I'm not just standing out here, and I also think it's starting to rain a little. So let me go inside and kind of explain a little more of the card choice and all of that stuff, you know? All right. Okay, so pretty much, why did I choose a soccer mom Toyota Sienna? Simple. I wanted the ability to be stealth that I was consistently talking about throughout this whole thing, right? And pretty much in order to be stealth, you need to have a car that people don't recognize as, oh wow, they're definitely sleeping in that car. And one of the problems with the bigger vans and also all of the RVs is that pretty much it's very noticeable. I mean, especially with so many people van lifing nowadays, people in cities are starting to crack down on them, which is very unfortunate. But pretty much like you will see signs saying, oh, no capacity, passenger capacity more than 8 are allowed to park here, or whatever it is, right? So, and then also you have height restrictions for like the warmer areas like Phoenix and stuff, where those parking garages, you have high clearance. And so the minivan is like the maximum height it can go, and also the maximum passenger capacity because I can fit 8. So yeah, I mean, it naturally just made sense for me to go with something, because I'm choosing it for freedom. I'm not choosing it to carry as much stuff as I can. I want it to be as minimalistic as possible to a degree, and also have the freedom to park wherever I want. And I want to park in safer residential areas, and for those, people are not going to allow vans to park there. I mean, you're a sore sight, you know, for people that live within there, unfortunately. And so, as much as I love bigger vans, don't get me wrong, I wanted one, but it was just, for my use case, it didn't make sense, because I want to be able to park in less obvious areas, I guess, and more in the secure areas that are safer for my car and for me. So it's been good so far with that. The other one is Ford and Chevys. I personally have had very bad experiences with them, and I've heard from a lot of my friends that they do tend to break much easier. And so I don't know how I felt about trusting my whole life on those cars. So that's why I really wanted a Toyota or a Honda for the reliability, and I ended up going with a Toyota just because I learned on a Toyota Camry when I first started driving. So it feels very natural to me. And because it doesn't have a trunk space, front to back, it's the same size essentially as a Toyota Camry. So it's really cool because it drives like just a regular car. Because it's a passenger car too, it's insulated very well already, soundproofed. Like, there's a lot of good things that are already built in here that a lot of those like Chevy Expresses and stuff didn't really have a lot of those already built in. So you had to, it was a metal box on wheels, so you had to like actually go ahead and do all of that. But here I didn't really have to. There was really no build. I didn't really do any build. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big proponent of these, is because I just want to show people that van life is achievable if you want it. Because we see so many of these glamorous $200,000, $100,000 builds, and they're great, but not many people can afford them, you know what I mean? To be honest. And people get discouraged. And I just want people to know that there's no reason to gatekeep and like be like, oh, well, I don't have enough money to do. Well, no. If you want it, you can go as simple as you want, as a cot and a Walmart folding table and a Walmart cabinet. That's it. But it's really doable. And if freedom and just kind of trying this lifestyle is something you want, I really encourage it for most people. It's a very liberating experience, regardless of how long you do, you know? And yeah, I mean, gas mileage is great on this thing too. I mean, it's not great, it's not a hybrid, but I get about 400 miles per tank. It's about an 19 gallon tank. But yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that I can gas up and go one state over without having to fuel up again, you know. It's just nice. I mean, those are highway miles, of course, but Yeah, I mean, I really like the reliability of Toyotas and just the stealth aspect and all of these. And I wanted to sacrifice space to get that freedom. I wanted a roof rack for more stuff, and I wanted a bike rack because I love biking. But those are dead giveaways that you're camping in a van. So I didn't put them up because, again, it's a compromise, just like with anything in life. So I wanted the stealth to be the king, you know. Otherwise, I mean, again, because my footage, like I said before I got this camera, was a little shaky with like all the, you know, the phone camera and stuff like that. So I don't know what order I'm gonna put them, or I don't even know if I'm gonna put them up. But in case this video goes up before those other videos, just to kind of briefly explain why I decided to van life. I mean, this past year was insane. You know, this past year was really crazy. With the job, with Exxon coming to an end, and just a lot of personal issues. And we also had our dog of 14 years passed away. We had to put it down because she was losing control of her bowels, and she was not eating, she was not drinking. And you know, I've had her since 6th grade, so that is still something that I'm definitely processing. It was just a year of a lot of losses, a lot of change. And I think one of the big things I learned is ultimately inner peace and inner contentment come when you're so destroyed and crumbled that you literally have to completely start anew, like refresh and restart and be like, okay, what makes me want to be alive? What drives me? Or what do I at least enjoy in life? And you have to really reprioritize, because I think in nowadays societies, it's especially like from an immigrant society, like for me, like the corporate life is glamorized like crazy. You know, what I'm realizing is there's so many different ways of living life, you know, other than corporate. And it really comes down to what makes you content with life, and prioritizing those rather than what society thinks is a good life, you know? And yeah, for me, I always have been a creative type. I love making music, I love making art, I love dancing, singing, photography, content creation, you know what I mean? I love helping people through art and telling my story, and none of these are things that corporate really gave me the opportunity to do. And so for me, it was more a way for me to focus on that, because I'm not looking at van life as an answer. Because I think if you look at van life as or anything, any status, any material thing as an answer to your problems, you're going to be very disappointed. Because contentness, peace, these come from you. It doesn't matter what you have. If you chase things, you're gonna always have midlife crises and existential crises, because you're gonna get them and realize this is not what brings those things. Happiness is not really something that is a thing you achieve and you keep. I mean, happiness is just like sadness. It's just an emotion that comes and goes, like yin and yang, right? So ultimately, peace and contentment in life, though, in your life, is something you can have regardless of whether you're happy or sad. And I think for that, it comes from within you. And everybody is capable of doing it, because it's the way you approach life. We can't change the stuff that life throws at us, but we can change and we can control how we react to it, or how we grow from it, or learn from it, or what we do next, you know? And ultimately, that outlook is where you're gonna get peace. And ultimately I wanted, you know, with inflation nowadays, like rent and mortgage, it's like 70% of your income almost for most people, right? 70-80%. And income has not, you know, your pay has not gone up to match that. So it's crazy, because we're literally working to pay for a house that we're not even in, you know, or a room that we're not even in, because you're working. I mean, pre-pandemic, when people were working from home, for some people, because there's a lot of people who are still working, you know, restaurants and stuff like that, of course, but you're working 9 to 5, even more sometimes, Monday through Friday, like you're not at home. You're gonna come home at the end of the day, watch a Netflix series because you're tired. Your brain is not gonna, even if you have time, your brain's not gonna have the energy to learn up the things you love to do or do the things you love to do because you're tired. You just wanna watch a movie and go to sleep. That's what you're gonna do Monday through Friday. And then on the weekend, you were inside all day. You're gonna wanna go out. So you're not gonna be at home. You're gonna go out, try to forget the week. Sunday is kind of like day you prepare for Monday, and so it's like you literally are living one day a week. And for me, what I realize is age is not what brings growth and maturity and all of these things. It's experiences in life. And ultimately, yeah, you might be 60, 70, but if you're living one day a week, you live like 4 years, 3 years, your whole life. And I don't want to do that. I'm very much a quality over quantity type of guy anyway. That's why I don't do meme reviews and stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just nothing wrong against meme reviews. I love watching them, but they just don't do anything for me as a content creator to, create. But it's just, for me, I was like, no one's guaranteed tomorrow. I mean, it's so cliche, yes, but no one is guaranteed tomorrow. Seriously. Just because we're young does not mean anything, something could happen. And it's not necessarily morbid, it's just realistic. And ultimately for me, it's like I want to enjoy the time that I have now when we're alive, not the future, not the past. And do the things that I love that drive me to want to be alive, And this is a way for me to cut out the rent, the expenditures, right, that keep us chained to our jobs, and have time to participate in society or participate in work or whatever it is as I wish. And kind of live life more on my own terms and try to see if I can use art as a way to sustain myself. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, good news, I'm about to be partner on YouTube, or at least be able to apply because I have the requirements. So we'll see how that goes, but you might start seeing ads, so I'm sorry, but unfortunately in this society where we decided to commoditize stuff that should be free, like nature and the ability to live, everything is commoditized now. So you have to, unfortunately, have money to survive. So I think I will obviously start putting ads once I get partnered. So I'm sorry in advance, but please understand. I want to make sure I can keep continuing to do this. So yeah, and I always have my Patreon if you ever want to support me or whatever it is, and my merch and all that stuff. So I'll probably get those up and running probably in the next couple weeks, or they're already up and running, but I'll probably put them up on the videos and stuff from time to time. But yeah, I mean, I'm just very excited to see where things go. And one thing I'm realizing is all of these negative emotions we have as people, we're like, oh, well, I'm scared, I'm afraid, it's thrilling, all of these things, right? These uncertainties, these kinds of negative emotions, if you think about it, they're only one page difference from the good, kind of feelings that we associate, like excitement or, your, like, whatever it is, right? Like a roller coaster, for example. It's like, it's all in how you view it. Because yes, I'm not gonna lie, being in a van in Seattle when I was literally for the last 2.5 years in Houston, just by myself in a sense, is scary to a degree, but also it's very exciting because it's uncertain. You don't know what's gonna come. It's all in perspective. And so I think I definitely recommend people to at least try it once in their lives. I don't think they will regret it. But ultimately, if you want to come along with me on my journey and my amateur videography, which hopefully will get better as time goes, but I'm a photographer, I'm not a videographer, but I'm gonna try learning videography because it seems very interesting and I love this type of storytelling and being able to share myself, that's something I always love to do. So yeah, I mean, just if you want to follow me, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, whatever, support me, whatever you want to do. I mean, pretty much I just want to give content to the world and people who resonate, I would love to see you around. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have scripts for these types of videos or for my videos in general. I'm very impulsive of a creative, and I have a very natural kind of flow that I like to follow, and that's why you'll see me sometimes disappear from face of earth for a little bit, which I apologize that I did for, a while. But I just really needed time to recalibrate myself, and ultimately I don't want to churn out bad content just for the sake of creating content. I'm going to create content that I feel creatively driven to make. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, my channel will probably be like vlogs now, and then, it'll have music that hopefully more music that I make, and then my dances, and then some therapeutic stuff. I am not licensed. I always make this clear. I just like helping people with my experiences, that's all. So yeah, just therapeutic content and stuff like that. But yeah, it will just be a hodgepodge of stuff that I love, but more in the just being free and liberated. I think that's kind of my common thread that lives within my channel and who I am. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to put it in the comments, section down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I love you all. I'll see you later, Aquarians. Bye-bye. Oh, I have ADHD, so I'm sorry. I jump all over the place. But, and I'm unmedicated because I had a bad issue, or not bad issue, but bad experience with medication in the past. But I apologize for all of the tangents, but you know what to expect when you see my channel. But, what is it? Oh, yes. I finally put my music up on Spotify and Apple Music and all of the streaming services. So, I think they only, as the channel grows, as people follow it or save it, the artist, I think that's usually when Spotify starts to recommend it to other people. I don't know how the algorithm works. But, yeah, my stuff is up there now under Aquarius Crystal Wave, so feel free to find me, follow me, put it in your playlist or whatever you want. I mean, I would love to see this grow because I love just sharing. I don't know, I just love sharing my story and helping people, and I think this will be a fun way to see how it grows. And even if it doesn't grow, it's fine. I love having you all here. It's not the numbers for me, really. I just want to be able to make art and tell my story and live my life. I don't really mind how many or how few. And I really appreciate each and every one of you for sticking through with me, and all the newcomers too, thank you. But yeah, just sticking through with me and going through with me on my ups and downs and all of that stuff. All right, it's a crazy world out there, so make sure you stay safe. And as always, I'll see you next time. Love you all, Aquarians. Bye. Quick thing before we cut off. The reason why I'm not using Aquarius all the time now, I'll be using kind of my face a lot, is when you're travel vlogging or when you're in a different city, I don't always feel comfortable because I'm traveling on my own to have something that impairs vision like this and then be recording with a camera. Because you don't know who's gonna sneak up and try to take your stuff. And it just, a lot of times I don't feel safe to completely block my vision in an unknown area. So that's the main reason. I will probably record a lot in my human form, but you will see Aquarius from time to time, especially in dance videos and stuff, so don't fret. But yeah, this is me. So, you finally see? Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.